In 1978, as the Constitution of the United States was in formation, a group of electors was established into the framework to aid in the process of selecting the highest seat in the newly formed government. This group was labeled as the College of Electors, or the Electoral College. For the fresh-faced country attempting to create a government which represented the people, it seemed like the best option at the time. However, as the United States has grown in size and population, the benefit of this system has not only begun to lack, but hinder the way of elections regarding the seat of the president. The Electoral College has shown bias in the past, which contradicts that of the people's, and I intend on sharing the benefits this would bring to our election system and government as a whole to replace this system. During the formation of this system, the United States only consisted of 13 states, which had been colonies just 10 years prior. As a young country, there were worries about loyalists attempting to overthrow the fragile government that had been worked upon, especially the place of the president. So, according to a paper published by the U.S. Election Assistant Commission in 2011, the Electoral College was formed for two primary reasons: to eliminate the possibility of uninformed voters voting for a candidate simply for the fact they came from their home state, and as a compromise between two offered solutions. An entirely popular vote was seen as unstable, even for a country with only 4 million people, while a congressional appointment would pull away from the checks and balance system they were attempting to establish in their new government. For a country who just came from under a more suppressive regime, the Electoral College was an excellent solution to prevent a larger problem in the future. However, this seat has formed nearly 300 years ago, when the United States was a fraction of the size it is now. The government must grow with the people and acknowledge the changes that need to be made in order to serve the people, not itself. The primary reason I believe the Electoral College in our modern age is unnecessary is the bias these individuals show, which influence their votes rather than what the people wish for. An article written by Dave Ross, published on History.com, tells the reader how out of 58 presidents our country has had, 5 have lost the popular vote, yet won the Electoral College, and in turn, the seat to the presidency. 5 out of 58 does not seem like a significant number to most, but these outliers have instilled enough belief into the average voter that their vote does not matter. A report published by Stanford cites the lack of political voice by the majority of Americans due to the simple fact that outside of quote-unquote battleground states, a vote for the minority is unlikely to cause a real difference. A blue voter in Texas and a red voter in California are less likely to show up to the polls because their impact is often suppressed by the Electoral College. The earliest instance of this was in 1824 with John Quincy Adams, who initially lost both the popular and electoral vote and was voted into office by the House of Representatives. There had been accusations of corruption by Andrew Jackson, who had won the plural of the popular and electoral votes, though did not gain the majority. The most recent case was in 2016 with Donald J. Trump, who lost most pre-election polling charts, as well as the popular vote by more than 2.8 million votes against Hillary Clinton, while winning the Electoral College with 304 votes against her 227. These are both instances where the opinions of an individual outweighed that of millions due to the power the Electoral College holds. Giving the Electoral College so much control is the real issue with the presidential vote. My proposed solution would be to instead rely on the popular vote, as it comes directly from the people. The same article from Stanford reminds us that the Electoral College is not created because of an overwhelming agreement, but because it was the least objectable alternative. Instead of relying on a system that was selected merely for the sake of less arguing, let's adapt something which would benefit the people. An alternate use of the Electoral College is to lead voter security and ensure that things like voter fraud do not happen. By using the popular vote, the voter turnout will increase drastically, as individuals in deep red or blue states will finally feel their voice matters, and not just those in the battleground states. It may also bring more voices and opinions to the table, getting more people invested in the decisions made in our country. In many of our lifetimes, we have seen the contradicting decisions made by the Electoral College against the popular vote. By giving less power to this smaller group of individuals, it may empower the voices of the American people and finally take pride in their country instead of cowering away from the simple fact that they believe their voice does not matter. I hope this speech has informed you of the shortcomings of our federal government, which has been riding on for decades, and has encouraged you to see it all in a different light.